everybody. I'm back. I'm so excited. I haven't done a video for it feels like a million years. I just got so busy. I've just been so busy, and I've just been not had a chance. And now it is summer out, and so it's real hard to be inside when it's nice out, but I miss doing these videos, so I am going to do one for you today, and it's going to be a project recipe. And the project recipe that I'm going to use is the Hit the Road project recipe. You can't get this, they don't have this on the blog or anything, but I do have it as an advisor, or if you have another advisor, you can get it. But just ask me for it. It's called the Hit the Road, and I really, really like the recipe, but I don't necessarily want to do it in the Hit the Road. And so that's what's so great about these recipes, is that you can use any collection that you want, because it's going to show you how to cut the pieces out, and then how to lay them out and use them as a sketch. And then it just showed this with the Hit the Road. But what I'm going to use is the Through the Years 1940s to 1950s collection. I love this so much. Don't know if you guys have seen all of the Through the Years, but we have them for the 20s and 30s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000 and 2010. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. I'm currently working on an album for my dad, and he grew up in 1939, so the 50s is going to be perfect. I love this paper. There's 6 sheets, and then this is the front and the back side of these two, right? So these are the first 2, and then these are the second 2, and I think these were, you could use, these are the 30s or the 40s or the 50s. The first 2 are clearly the 50s. And then these ones look like they're more the 40s. I'm not really sure, but I decided that I'm going to use these 2, and then I'm going to need these 2. And then you're also going to need 2 sheets of white cardstock as the base. Or you can just do it directly on a page. Like your regular scrapbook page. You could do it right on there if you know where it's going in your album. Then that's what I would suggest, because then you're not wasting 2 sheets of cardstock. And I am just sick. This is a lesson to everyone to be careful. And if you have any drinks or anything by your paper, put them in a caddy so they can't spill. I just noticed that, I think my granddaughter was using, I had this on the table when she was doing some scrapbooking, and we had pop there, and now every single piece has got a stain in it. I'm not worried about that ruining the photos, because with this layout, I am going to be covering those corners anyways, so I'm not too worried. So, all right, I've decided on that, and then the adorable stickers that go with them. They're so cute. Look at these, rock and roll. These are the ones I'm going to use right here, because these are more of the 40s, which I could still use them. They're really cool. But I'll probably use this on maybe, when he was growing up, when he was a little boy. And, pictures of him with his parents and grandparents. And then they usually always, with the sticker packs, there's always really nice border stickers too that we can use. And you'll also want, just for the way that I'm doing this, I'm just going to use a scratch piece of cardstock. I am going to have, oh, you can, you see my trick? It's fake. I think everybody's who does process videos, there's a fake, yeah. But yeah, that's not really my table. It's just a backdrop. That's all right though. So our fabulous Creative Memories 12-inch trimmer, you're going to need that. And you're going to need a regular tape runner and also repositionable. I just have them in different cases. I know which ones are which. The green is the repositionable. And you could use repositionable the whole time too if you'd like. And then also this is the slide reel border punch. I'm going to use that because I thought it was kind of cool. It reminds me of, like old movie projector rolls. So yeah, don't have to do what this says. You can change it up all you want. And then I might use a huge throwback. This, one of the original CMs. This one's 20 years old. Or 20 years old. One of the very first ones I got. Because it fits just behind this to make this pop out. So I'll probably do this in black, and then I'll do white circles to put behind it so it really pops off the page. All right, so that's what we have, and so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to start by following my cutting guide, and so I'll take this, and I will include this in the directions in the description below, and if that doesn't work, just message me below, and I will email this project recipe to you. And remember, you can use it with any collection you want, any papers, any stickers you want. So make sure that you follow along on the instructions that's on the bottom here. This is going to be the cutting guide on this side, but follow along on the instructions because I wrote myself some notes that are important. On this first one, which is going to be the blues here, we're going to use both sides, right? And so one is going to have more pattern in it, and then one is going to be more of a solid, right? And they want you to cut it with the pattern side up. Not exactly sure why this matters. I think because if you have something directional, it's important. But this is the paper that I'm going to use. And so this is going to be the pattern side. I'm going to put, because this is more of a solid, even though it has a pattern. This is more of a solid. So I'm going to put this on the top. I'm going to get out my trimmer. And I can move this over here just for reference. All right, and so the nice thing about this is this can go either way. It's not going to mess up anything in the back. You know, if you had something that was directional, like words or scenery that had to go a certain way, you're going to want to make sure that you cut that correctly so that it doesn't, like if you had words, you don't want it to go like that and then be reading that way. This we don't have to worry about. All right, so we're going to cut these two strips first. They're 4 inches by 1.5, so I know that this is in the 3s, so I know this is the 4s here. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of 4 to start off with. Make sure I'm all the way in. Yep, okay, you can see everything I'm doing. The first one, oh no. Okay, here is, doggone it, Nikki. Here is a lesson. Make sure that you check your blade. I did not, and I've got a decorative blade in there. My granddaughters were visiting this weekend, and I was scrapbooking with them, and I did not check the blade. So the big, huge, huge, huge bummer about that is my next piece needs to be 4 inches, and then the next piece, and these are going to be, that's going to be left over, so I could probably salvage this page. Let me think. I might want to just take a new piece and might want to take a new piece. All right, so I'm going to put this back. I should know better than that, darn it. Well, okay, so now I have the straight blade in. I usually, when I use the decorative ones, I change them right away so that doesn't happen, but let me see. I don't think I can use this piece because I need it to be at least 8 inches. And so there's 8. And it's not going to work. So that's a big old bummer because now I kind of ruined that piece. But ta-da, there's 2 in every set. So I already decided I'm going to order some more of this paper anyways because I love it so much. So it's not that big of a deal. I will use it again somewhere else. All right, so now I've got the straight edge, the straight blade in. I'm going to get it at 4. Make sure that that's nice and tight. Okay, there's the first one. Here's the second one. All right, I'm going to put this aside because right here is I'm not going to need that. I don't really know what they reverse lower half for all. Okay, that means we're going to be flipping just half of them. Okay, so they're 4 inches by 1.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 1.5 is 12. So we are going to cut on here. I think the easiest is I could go this way, 1.5. I mean, I have quite a bit of stability with both of those, but I think I'm going to do it this way because then I got even more stability using that as a backdrop. So there's the 1.5. So I'm just going to go all the way down. and cut these all in 1.5. In case you ever see, so like sometimes I start with this down here. Sometimes I start with the blade. Whoop. Up here, it doesn't matter. It's a circle blade. It's just wherever the blade ends up is where I start usually. Whoop. I want to make sure that's in there tight. And don't get too ahead of myself that I make mistakes like I just did. Oh, that drives me crazy when I do stuff like that, but just shows it. I'm human like everybody else. We all make mistakes, don't we? And it's really not that big of a deal. It's just a piece of paper. Okay, so I got all of those. And then with the rest, I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4. So I'll do 4 more. Whoops. But get back to where I was. There we go. 1, 2. Boy, it's really hard being in here today because I have this huge picture window right to my left. And I live out in the country. And this is number 3. Live right next to a farm. Well, on 3 sides of me are cattle, beef cattle. And so it's really fun to just look out the window and see them all. I just love it. I love living in the country, especially next to all these nice cows because we go out and we feed them hay and say hello and give them names. And yeah, so to make sure that I cut enough, I'm going to count those. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. 1, 2, 3. Gosh, my fingers are so dry. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. They're sticking together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So I got those 12. And now this last one, these are 2 inches by 2 inches. So we know that this is 4, right? So then we're going to do this one at 2. And this time I'm going to have to go across. I'm going to do it this way. This way, because this doesn't go all the way to 2. So I'll do 2 there. And then now this is a scratch piece. And then we'll go back to 2. There. All right. So now the fun part is to cut these diagonally. So the way that I'll do it, and I could probably do 2 at a time. I don't think I want to do more than that because I don't like to stack too many because then they can kind of slide. So if you look on your cutting guide, let me see. I'm going to put this light down here. Hopefully that'll help. You'll be able to see. Do you see this number 3 here? I'm using the 3rd side of this cutting strip, but this is the one that the cutter will cut on right there. So when I take these 2, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to line this point up anywhere along here so that it's right there, and then the other end is going to be right here. And I have noticed sometimes that it's a little bit off. Okay, so where I can double check it is we have these awesome guides right here that you can slide down. And if you see, there's a little black line. And for those of you who watch me regularly, sorry that I'm repeating this, but I'm repeating it for the people who haven't seen it yet. See, you can see right there where that black line is. Hopefully you can see. That's where the blade is going to cut. And I've noticed it's not always exactly on, but I try to get as close as I can. That's pretty close, okay? All right, so I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to cut. Oh, hello, Sassy. I thought it wouldn't be very long before you would be here in my way. Oh, and that turned out so nice. All right, so I'm just going to put them the way that I cut them for now, because remember it says on here to reverse the lower half for all. So this was the lower half, so I'm just going to flip those over. Okay. Honestly, I don't know if it makes any difference because they should be the same size. These ones are not the same size. What the heck? These are off a little. How did I do that? Well, what in the world did I do? Luckily, I have this piece here. Is this 2 inches? It's just a little bit short. Let's see. What did I do? Oh, Nikki. No, they're 1.5, yeah. Those are correct. This is a tad bit small. Okay, where's the other one that's a tad bit small? Because, no, maybe there is only the one. 1.5. 1.5. Well, so now isn't that good that I stacked them twice? You know what I mean? On top of each other, because then I found that mistake. But what's really strange is how come it, you know what it was? Is sometimes the papers are just a hair off. So this piece was probably not exactly 2 inches, or 12 inches, I'm sorry. So I am going to go ahead and cut another one at 1.5 inches. That's probably what happened. There's always a little bit of a room for error, you know, when they're manufactured. That happens sometimes. So, all right, so now I should be able to put these two together. Yeah, oh my goodness. This one's a little short. I might have to start this whole thing over. And this one's a little long. What in the world? Okay, watch out, Sass. Boy, I'm just, okay, this is correct. This is correct. How in the world did that happen? Sometimes I get talking. That one might be a little tiny bit long. No. This is 4.5, or 4. Yeah, this one, now how is that one long and everything else is correct? That is really strange. I'll probably figure it out after I'm done filming. But anyway, so I'm going to put this on 4 inches and cut it correctly. Unless it was the one that I just, you know what it is? It's the one that I just did. Never mind. Okay, I'm losing my mind. Okay. So remember, we were doing these right side up. Okay, so I'm going to just cut one more, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and do it off camera so that you don't have to sit here and watch me, because I think you got it how I'm doing this, right? Okay, so we're going to leave this the way this was. Reverse the lower half. Okay, so this is the lower half. These are the uppers. These are the lowers. All right, I'm going to turn this off, cut these, and then I'll be back. Okay, and I wanted to show real quickly that you do the same thing with the little 2x2 square. And it's also really important that you hold on to this so that that little piece doesn't slide, because it's so little it could slide really easily. And then you're going to get a crooked cut. All right? And so we're going to do the same, the bottom. I mean, these are the same. One gets flipped and one doesn't. All right, so I'm going to push these aside for a moment. And then I'm going to finish my cutting. So this piece here is going to be my red. And I have to say, excuse me, Sassy. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry to move you. I'm going to put her in the chair. Never fails. As soon as I start scrapbooking, either her or my other kitty decide to come and visit. All right. So this is just the same piece, different sides. So here I'm going to cut a 5-inch by 12-inch. We already know this is 12 inches. So we'll do 5. That's that. And then 4x6 by 4x6. So we know that 6 and 6 is 12. So it's going to be 4 inches wide. And I'm going to stop here, because if I'm going to punch that border, I'm going to want this piece large, right? So I'm going to stop on that. So if I would cut this 4 inch right here, right now, then I'm going to have this little tiny piece that I've got to cut a border with, and it's going to be difficult. So, whoopsie. So I'm going to wait just a minute on that one. And I guess now that I think about it, I'm going to wait on that one too. And the funny thing about that is, remember when I told you to read the directions? If I would have paid attention to the directions, it will tell me to not cut those yet. Right? I remember reading that before I started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our two pieces of white paper cardstock. This is Creative Memories Bright White. It's newer, and I love it because it's this crisp, beautiful bright white. I'm going to get my my two cutting mats out because I love these for keeping everything lined up. So let's get those out of the way. Put these in where you can see them both. Looks like that's good. Oh, company, hang on. All right, I'm back. Okay, one of my kids' friends stopped by. So I'm going to set these out here. Now remember, I have those two corners that are a little marked up. So I'm going to make sure that I put those in one of the corners. I don't want to do it this way because it's a little longer. All right, and so what it says is to lay these pieces out. Use the tape runner to adhere all 8 pieces along the top and bottom of the base pages as shown. Start with the more pattern halves first, then add the reversed sides on top. All right, so I'm going to look at these. So these are the ones that I'm going to put down first. And so it's going to go like this, and I know they're 4 inches. So this is what's great about using these awesome mats, is there's the 4-inch mark right there. Right? Now how is this? Oh, that'll probably go on another one. Okay, that's probably going to be on the bottom. Yep. So then this one, and then there'll be another one. Like this will go there. And then these ones are going to go on the bottom. And I'm going to lay this all out first before I start taping so that I don't make a mistake. There's the 8. It will go to the other 4. And then this. All right. And then this one will go here. I think I'm going to have to flip some of these, but I know it's going to work out because I cut them correctly. Yep. There you go, covering that spot up. So excited. This goes here. All right, so that isn't, oh, that is right. It just seems strange, doesn't it? That seems strange. Well, I will just do it, and I'll just try that. Whoops. That's going to be right around 8, and then there. Okay, so let's see how this works. There we go. It's just going to take a little bit of thought, right? And then I will lay these out. Oh, it's going to look so... I'm not going to say COOL. I was, you know, when I edit my videos, I have to watch them back to see if there's, you know, things that I have to edit out or anything. I think my last video, I said cool about 453 times. So I'm going to try and be really conscious about not doing that this time. So I don't know what my new word's going to be. Awesome, amazing. Awesome, that word gets pretty much overused too. Okay, so this one. So this is weird. Why are these not working? Okay, that will go there. Oh, see, it's just seems weird, doesn't it? This will go here. Boy, I'm glad I laid this out before I... That doesn't seem right. What is going on here? Okay, that's right. See, they're all going the right way. These are all going the right way. I've got this backwards. Okay, if I look at that, so this one, the solid should be going... What's going on here? What did I do wrong? Oh, I think I did this one upside down. Yeah, see, the straight line is on the top. Okay, so now I messed that up. I know the straight line is going to go like this on top, so let's see. What did I do? What did I do? They're all supposed to be... Oh, okay. If I turn them around, watch this. Okay, now it makes sense. I know that's going to go that way. These are going to go this way. This one turned out to be a little bit more confusing. This is not right. What am I doing wrong? The straight is supposed to... Did I cut them wrong? I don't think so. So I know this is right. Okay, so... See, because I'm going to have a straight line here and a straight line here. Okay, so then I know that these ones are going to go like this. And then... Right? Whoops. So those ones will be right. And then these ones... What did I do wrong? Maybe these ones have to be flipped. There we go. Okay. I'll get it sooner or later. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. All right, so I know that I cut them right. So I'm going to turn this off again while I sit and mess around, but I just have to figure all these pieces out, and since there's so many of them, it might just take me a minute. So let me figure that out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, holy buckets, that was a lot of trying to figure that out. So I think what I did wrong is you can see how, well, first off, okay, when you cut all of these strips here, it's really important that you cut from that corner to that corner and not that corner to that corner. And I think that's where I made my mistake. Luckily, I have all this extra paper that is 4 inches wide, correct? So this piece here is 4 inches wide. I'm going to show the example on this one. So remember that we were having the pattern, the more pattern side up. So this was this way. And then if we follow along with the directions, if we're looking at the paper like this, there is the dotted line that we cut. We cut from this corner to this corner, not there to there. Okay, so this corner. And you know what? I thought that's what I was doing. I think I did that for most of them, but I just must have messed up. I don't know. And who knows? It might be something even more obvious than that, and this might work, but I sat here for quite a while and I can't seem to figure it out. So let's see if this works now. Like I said, luckily we have extra paper. So that makes sense. So that one will butt up against there. And then, you know, just still lining these up. And then this one makes sense there. Right? And this one does not make sense there. And it doesn't make sense up here either. So I think I'm going to cut one more, and hopefully that will work. So thank goodness this is the 4 inch. So it's, what was it again? 1.5. Thank goodness there was extra paper for this, this recipe. Okay, so that's extra. And here is the piece like this. So I'm going to cut from this angle to this angle. There's so many of these that you know, something like this has happened and then I figured out later. So that's why I do these videos, to hopefully help you learn from my mistakes, right? Okay, sometimes I get going too fast and think, oh, I just want to get that done, and then it doesn't work. So there we go. And then this should flip around Okay, so I'm sure that that's what I did wrong. But if you'll notice, and I don't think it matters at all because this is my page, I can do it however I want, right? If you look at this example, so look at the blue solids, how they're all the arrow, the narrower end is always pointing this way, same on the bottom. But if you notice on mine, they're not going to be that way. These ones are going this way and those are going that way. You know what? That's perfectly fine. There are no rules, right? It's just however you want to do it. So I'm going to read the rules again. And I remember that it said to put the pattern piece, tape those in place first, and then put the solid piece on top because you want less of the pattern showing and you want more of the blue, right? So in order to get these lined up correctly, I'm just going to move these up so I know where they go. And I'm going to get out my silicone mat right here. Love the silicone mat. The great thing about it is that when you're using your repositionable tape runner, it doesn't, oh, Sass, you can't be here. Come here. Sorry. It doesn't stick. The extra pieces don't stick to here. So that's really nice. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. And remember, these are 4 inches long. So that's going to help me when I get to the other end, you know, knowing where to put the other one. Usually I tape this down a little bit. Let's see if I can. Maybe I'll just put it right on there. And that'll hold this paper in place so it doesn't move. And the great thing about the repositionable is it just rubs right off later. All right. So I'm going to line up on here. Right, we know that's going to go up to the 1.5 because that's how wide it is. We can see that that's nice and straight. And then this will be right at the 4 because we know that this piece is 4 inch long. They're all 4 inches long. And then I can line up the top as well. Kind of hard to tell on this one until you get over here. And if you want, this is what I kind of do sometimes too. I'll put my ruler right here at 1.5. Some people use a 0 centering ruler. This is another Creative Memories ruler that is nice and clear, and that'll help me. That's a good way to line that up too. All right, so then I'll get this last one. So now I'm going to be at 8. All right, that's going to line up. Whoops. Well, I can see where 1.5 is. Perfect. Okay, and then now I'm going to do, I'm just going to do all of, whoops, get that tip real good. All of this now so that it doesn't get all messed up. There. Oh, that's going to be so neat. Neato. Whoop, go that way. So I get that tip. Make sure that I get a lot of a tape runner on that so it stays down. Oh, that's just unfortunate where that ends, with that little black ends up, because it looks like it's a little bit of a mistake. You can see there that my point wasn't right on. And you know what? I'm not only a scrapbooker, but I'm a quilter too. And oh my goodness, that is going to drive me crazy. Ugh. Thank God that I'm going to be putting a border over the top, because any of you quilters out there, then you know, like, points that don't match up, that is terrible. That's a no-no. So that has to be, I'm going to cover that up, because if I saw that, I'd be like, oh, that's terrible. Your points are off. So I'm just going to go along and do this. And I got to learn how to speed up video, because then I can just speed this up for you right now. And you don't have to watch the whole thing. And who knows, maybe you're working along with me. And then, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're going to stop the video and go ahead if I keep playing. Whoops, if I keep See, this is why I need to have this. I'm going to stick this one down too. It's great because, like I said, it'll just rub off later. I know that some of you do scrap along with me, and then I think some probably just fast forward to the next part, the next directions. And that's okay, whatever you want to do. Whatever helps you. I would love to have a virtual crop where we could all crop together. Anybody interested in doing something like that, let me know. And I will try and figure out how to do it. I don't know how yet, but I certainly am willing to learn because I think that would be so much fun. I have so many friends and customers from all over the country. It's really so great. California, Louisiana, Ohio, Virginia, Georgia, Colorado. I said California, I've got a couple there. Who am I forgetting? I've got so many. West Virginia, Washington, D.C. See, I don't like how that shows right there. But like I said, that's going to get covered up with the border that I'm going to put on. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, it's so great. That's what I love about Creative Memories. I've met so many wonderful people and friends over the years. And, they start out as people I just meet and I scrapbook together, or they become customers. And then, you know what? They're friends. And I just absolutely love it. I just love, love, love the people that I've met along the way. A friend I met from England, I can't remember, I've told you that story. Creative Memories used to be in England years, the old Creative Memories. And this girl Jess, my friend Jess, she had put something out on Facebook that she was looking to buy product because they didn't have it in England anymore, and she was so sad. And was wondering if there was anybody who was willing to help her. She said that she was going to be in the States for, I can't remember what it was. Well, so I answered her, and I ended up, she, told me all the things that she wanted. And then I met her and her husband down at near the airport at a hotel, met in the lobby, brought her all this stuff. And that was, oh my gosh, that was probably over 10 years ago. And we're still great friends. Isn't that awesome? I love it. She now lives in Canada, I'm sorry. She moved to Canada years ago. And yeah, we are friends. She's not just someone I know. She's a very dear, dear friend. So that's what I love about Creative Memories. There's so many wonderful things about saving your memories and preserving them. And there's so many people who do the same things that you do. So, all right. Well, I said I was going to maybe stop. I think what I'll do, just to save some time so that you don't have to sit and watch me, I am going to stop. And I'm going to put this on, I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to get these last ones on, and then I'll be back to finish the rest of the sketch. All right, so now they're on. Ooh, that was a little more difficult than I expected. Not so bad though, right? Luckily, hopefully you won't have any issues because now you saw the mistakes that I made, and you will learn from them. Okay, so now we're going to look at this. And there was that piece that I cut, and let me see, that one was 5 by 12. That's this size, correct? Yep. So I know that this is going to go here, and great about those colors together. Oh my gosh, I love it. According to the directions, adhere piece H across the left page, 3 inches down from the top. So we know that there's 3 inches down would be, if this is 12, this would be 9 right there. So we can go ahead and put that there. I've got this all where it's supposed to be. This one I'm now going to use my regular tape runner. Oh, that's not my regular. Because I know that I'm going to keep it there, so I don't have to. The other one was the repositionable. And I really needed that for those tiny corners because, the tape on this is a little bit larger and that wouldn't have worked. So I'm going to do this one. And look, you really don't need as much tape as you think, right? So here's the 9 on this side, there's the 3 on that side. So that'll really help me line that up. Look at those colors together. You hear me say it all the time. Green and red are opposites on the color wheel. That's why they look so good together. Adhere piece H across the left page 3 inches from the top, and then adhere piece K in the middle of the left page. This is piece K. Okay, I'm going to wait to do that because I'm going to figure out what I want for this border now. So this is going to be piece K, correct? I'm going to just put this here just to give you an idea. It's going to be bigger than that. So, all right, so if I go by this, then this yellow here is going to be this checkered. The red is the background. And then down here is going to be the red. And I really want to bring the red in there. But I think that because I'm doing this instead of the car, I think that'll look silly with red. What I can do is I can have red behind it if I'd like to. But I think I want to do, first I want to try it with the black and then with white circles behind it. So I'm going to take my scrap piece of paper, my black, and I'm going to make 2 of them because they're going to go across both sides. All right. So I'm going to start here at the little tick mark there. Can you see that? Line up my paper. It'll probably get loud in here in a minute when my daughter walks in the door. I will hopefully stop then so you don't have to listen to my dog barking again. And then, like always, you just line up and you cover up the blue. And that's where you know where to line up your paper for the next. And then you always make sure it's touching against this little railing there. And that'll just help you. Yeah, it's a little off. That's okay. And then you just go along. Oh, there's that one. You back Gus. All right, and then we're done with that one. So I was a little off on this, but you know what? I can just easily just pull that off. Ooh, isn't that pretty? All right, and so there's a few little notches here, just because of the that's what happens with the punches. Just the way the die cutter in there or whatever is. So I'm just gonna make a nice clean white or clean straight cut line, and then I'm gonna cut another one. All right, and I'll just go along. I guess. Pause for a second. All right, hopefully I'll be able to get through this video before somebody else comes home. My house is a busy house. Always busy. And so I had today off for Juneteenth. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to get some videos done because I really miss it. I haven't had a chance to do this for so long. So that is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to try and get this all off of here. I'm going to have to lift this. I've got it glued on. There we go. I really like this punch. It was out for a while. When it came out not long ago, it sold out. Oh, darn it, Nikki. It sold out quickly, so I got it the second time. Yeah, I don't want to use this kind for the to hold it on because this is harder to get off. I'm just full of mistakes today, aren't I? So maybe you guys will learn from me today. I'm going to want to get this off right away because the longer it stays on here, the longer it's going to stick. And luckily I didn't press it down too hard, so this won't take too long. And then I'm going to, once I get this off, I'm going to do the repositionable and use that because that is awesome. That just rubs right off. So it's nice because it keeps my paper in place, but it doesn't make a mess. And like I said, it comes right off. All right, get that off my fingers. Green, repositionable. See, that rubs right off. So great. All right, do that again. And this is the top. All right, get that in the spot I want it. Get that other whip. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get an idea of how this is going to look. So if I put that there, and these are going to go down here. Yeah, see, I really like that instead of the red. I do have enough of the red here that this is for the border punch. And sometimes what they like to do is, you know, have that kind of as an accent piece underneath it. So if I cut that in another one of these in red, then you could kind of see it on the bottom. So I'm going to try that first and see what that looks like. And then see if I'll just leave it like that. Where's the other piece to that? I don't want to use a whole other piece. Oh, it's right here, because this is going to be the big piece that goes here. So I will go here again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over so it's easier for me to clean up the little pieces. So I don't have to lift it up like I just did. And possibly make another mistake with the tape runner. All right, make sure that that's clean and empty. And let's just try one and see, because I know that I'll use this somewhere else if I don't use it now, right? So sometimes doing these pages, sometimes you just, a lot of the times, every time, I'm kind of messing around as I go along and, you know, kind of design as I go. Because I like to use these project recipes as, you know, kind of inspiration. Kind of the same as the sketches that Creative Memories puts out every month for the virtual crops. Oh, I love those. How many of you do those? They're so much fun. All right, so if I do this, so see if you kind of off-center it a little bit. I'm going to put the white behind it just to, so you can, this work, so you can kind of see how that pops. Isn't that cool? Oh, no, I said that word, darn it. Isn't that amazing? I like that because it bumps that out a little bit. And then remember that we're going to have a piece right here that's going to be behind it, right? So this will go like this. We'll see. I think I'm going to put the white behind it too. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 of these because I think I like that. And I'll cut that off in a minute, but for now, I'm just going to go to the other side. All right, and I'll quickly cut this one, punch this one. Just go all along. I really love this border punch. I'm trying to think of what else you could use it for. You know, this reminds me of, like I said, a reel for film. Be really cool. Oh, you know what would be really neat? I just thought of this just now. You know, so I'm going to put white behind this, but say if I did this, it would be really a neat idea. Let me see, are these the size that are going to go behind here? I'm going to do white anyways, but I just want to show you something else that might be kind of fun for a different idea. If maybe you did, oh, I don't have the right size. If you did a circle behind that was black, and then so that looked like the tape, but I don't have the right size because this is just a little bit smaller, so I don't think that you would really see it wouldn't have that effect. Let me try one. And this one's too small because that's about the same size as that. This is a scratch piece of paper, so I'll just try it on here. Why did I say scratch? Scrap. Scrap paper, piece of paper. So, I gotta get you my leg. And it wouldn't really make sense because reels aren't usually red, are they? No. But if you did it in silver, you know what I mean? If you did it in silver and then you had the black behind it, you would really want a little bit of a space though. You know, like to have a little bit of room on the edge. Whoops. Let's do it in the middle and then it'll hold still. So I'm going to off-center this though, just to get my point across. If you did this in silver where the red is, and then you put the black there, wouldn't it look like little movie reels from old projectors? So you would have to try and find, this is a 1 inch that I just cut, and this is a 3/4 inch. So if you could find a punch or some way to cut that right in between there, that would be really, really, really cool. You know what you could do? You could do it on your Cricut. Yep. I was gonna say you could use the Creative Memories Circle Maker. That is a great tool. But the smallest circle that will do is a 3-inch circle, I believe. So that won't work. All right, so let's get these little guys back here. So now, did I cut 2 of these? Yeah, I cut 2 of these. Okay. So now I know that with this, and this is the red, I use the edges there, right? And then I should have enough to make 2 4x6s. And I don't think I do. The problem is that if I can cut just those little notches off, then I can use this. Did I make a mistake somewhere that made it like that? So let's see if I can do this. And if I can't, I am going to have more room with this piece because I am not punching those. Or I punched it. Yeah, let's just do this. Sorry, I'm talking out loud. So funny, my daughter, the other day I walked in and she was on a web call or whatever, and I walked in and I was talking to myself, which I do all the time. She's like, Mom, can you think inside your head for a minute? Yeah, it was pretty funny. Okay, this isn't going to work because it's going to be too small. So I must have messed up with the pieces that I was using. I think because these 2 are the same piece and I should really be using 2 separate pieces. If I cut that any smaller, that's going to be smaller than I want. So I'm going to cut my 9-inch, 9x9, 10, 11, 12. That isn't going to work then. What did I do wrong? Well, then this is just going to be a little bit smaller, and that's okay. It really is. I think that these took up more room to cut that border. So pay attention to that when you do the same thing. This is just a tiny bit smaller than the 4-inch, and that's okay. Okay, and then this is in 6. And you'll see when I lay this out, it's just going to be perfectly fine. All right, and then keep this out because this checkered one is going to be 9 inches by 9 inches. And so we'll do 9 inches. Here's the extra piece that we were going to cut borders, and I already cut them out on this one. I should have done it the other way, but I don't know if they would have both fit, actually. I don't know. Maybe this border is just a little bit wider than... Okay. All right. We are done with our cutting. So, this piece is going to go here, and we're going to center it. Do you see that it's perfect because this is 1.5 wide? This is 1.5. 1.5 times 2 is 3 inches. This is 9. So you'll know exactly where to put it because it's going to touch here and it's going to touch here. And then it's 9 inches, so it's going to be 1.5 inches this way, and also this way. So there's my 1.5 inch mark. There's my other 1.5 inch mark. I think with this one, I'm going to use the repositionable just in case I make a mistake. I don't want to have to rip that up. It'll be easier to move. All right. So that'll be easy to line up this way. And then I'm just going to pay attention to my 1.5 and my 1.5. Whoop. And that'll help me center it all. And here's a real easy way to do it too. Let's just go ahead and put my 1.5 mark there. Oh, I am so tired of... I am so sorry about this dog barking at every single thing today. There's nothing out there. It's just the semi just drove by and was loud. Yes, he's doing his job. He's definitely doing his job. Perfect. Okay, and on this side, these are going to go here. And these I'm just going to kind of eyeball, because that will go there. Let's see, that'll go down. If this is 6, 7, 8, 9. So down 3 inches. 1, 2, 1, 2. So it will be there. That doesn't make sense. Isn't that weird? That's in the middle. Huh. That doesn't make sense. If it goes here, then it's a 1/2 inch down from here. Oh, wait, I don't have these totally lined up. There we go. I'm like, what is going on? Yep, that's right. A 1/2 inch up here and a 1/2 inch there. Okay, so when I go here, and then this one will go there. And then when I am setting up my photos, I'm going to get these are 3.5 by 5s. So let me lay them out and then you'll see how this works. There'll be a 3.5 by 5 here. And a 3.5 by 5 here. I might even be able to fit a 4 by 6 in there. I think it will. And that will be the same size as those mats. Yes. So I could put a 3.5 by 5 the same as these, or I could make it the same size as those mats. I can choose what I want to do. See, this is a 3.5 by 5. 3.5 by 5.5. All right. So anyways, so now I'm going to figure out how I want to do these. I think I'm going to double this so that pops out. And then the other thing I think I want to do is I think I want to put the white behind there. I think that black is just too, you know, pronounced. And let's just see what that looks like. So I will get another piece of white. I don't have it here, so I'm going to grab it over here in my whites, right here in my shelf. All right, let's try this out. I believe it was this size, correct? Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to punch a couple of these and see what it looks like. Oh, just to let you know, these are the cardstock that comes with a lot of the collections. And these are acid and lignin free and buffered. So these are totally safe to use. with your scrapbooking, which is really great, isn't it? Because it's like almost like getting a piece of white cardstock for free. So let me cut a couple of those and see if I like it better. Whoop. Ooh, got a little close there. All right, let's try with 3 really quickly and see what that looks like. And I'm gonna just go like this. Whoops, and use a little repositionable tape runner on the back side of this. Make sure I've got the right one again, so don't mess that up again. And then I will just go like this. Just a little, no, I just gotta be really precise in where I put it so you can't see it. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna have to obviously cut this end, but that's okay. I think I'm going to like that better. Oh yeah, I love that. Isn't that nice? I think that looks much better than that. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera off, cut those, pop those out real quick, and then I will be back. Okay, so I put all the white circles behind them, and they fit just perfectly. You know, a little off on a few of them, but so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so you can see all of them on the back, is I'm going to use the repositionable. I use this more than anything now. I just do. I like it so much. And then I'm going to just offset this just a little bit because I want it to be just so you get the outside edge of that red whip. But not so much that you see that, you know, you see the holes. I don't really like that. So I'm just going to do it just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to lay the red one down, and then I will just go just enough to just cover the red. I think that's about right. Perfect. And then I'm going to take my, I'm just going to use my microtip scissors and see how, this is where I started it. So I'm just going to go in and cut straight across. Whoops. And it might just be a little shorter than 12 inches this way, but that's okay. That's why it's always nice to use those when you're cutting more than one border, to always just use this mark, because then you know they're going to be the same on the ends, right, on both sides. All right, and I'm going to do the same with this one. So I'm going to use the repositionable on the back side of this as well, and then I will line that up. That one seems a little off center, so let's see if I can do this again. Whoop. That's about, whoa, there we go. That's a little bit, I can see that white. I'm going to flip it around. Whoop, some of those I didn't get exactly. Oh, that's the same on that side. All right, I'll just live with it, because it's really not that big of a deal. I could take it off and straighten it out a little bit, but I think it's just fine. I'm the only one who will probably notice it. Perfect. Okay, so then I'll do the same thing with this one. Yeah, that one's off a little tiny bit. And that is okay. I can fix it. I'm so excited because the pictures that I'm going to do, I'm going to use this for this layout, are of my dad, and he graduated in 1957. So what could be more perfect than this collection? And I was going through old slides and I found the greatest, and okay, I can say cool now because it is. He's, the meaning of cool. But he's wearing this really nice red dress shirt, and I believe they were like dark gray or black dress pants. I think black, and his penny loafers. And it's so 50s. It is the coolest picture. And, he's got the pompadour or whatever, like Elvis did. He was like Elvis, so handsome. He's still alive. He's still so handsome. I just can't wait. I know that he probably has never seen this photo. So when I get those on here, it's going to be so cool. And then it's going to be his sister as well, who was just like a movie star. She was just beautiful. And so I've got some pictures of her too. And they're all going to go on this. And so I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be really, really great. I will, when I get those pictures printed, I will post them so that you guys can see, because it's going to look really great on here. I just don't have them right now. I've got to download them, scan them and download them. So, all right, remember I said a 1/2 inch above here and a 1/2 inch below. So again, if you don't have 2 of these mats, boy, it makes everything so much easier. It really, really does. Like I said before, I like to just line this up sometimes, and that kind of helps. So that's at 2.5 inches down. So 2.5 inches down right there. That will really help and make this so fast. All right, so I'll put that all the way to the edge. Okay, and I love to put these placeholders in here because, like I said, this will rub off later. So, but it just kind of gives you the idea and helps remind me what I'm going to put there. And then the other nice thing is if I change my mind, the nice thing about using the repositionable is I can lift these later. If I decide, now I've got that awesome picture I was just telling you about, maybe I want to blow it up. And so I'm going to take these off of there and then just going to go ahead. I'm sorry. 1 minute. Okay. So yeah, if I change my mind and want a large picture there, then I can just take these off. Like I said, they just rub right off. And they do stay, permanently though, so you don't have to worry about if you're using these. You don't have to worry about your pictures falling out. It's not going to happen. I've been using Creative Memories products for over 20 years, and I've never once had something fall out of the page. It's really great. So I did this red, and I was thinking, originally I was going to do it this way, and I thought, you know what, this is too much like that, so I'm going to put them this way. It just makes more sense to me. And like I said, too, that's going to be a little bit shorter than the 12, but that's okay. So then I'm going to put this here, and I know that I'm going to do that permanently. So I'm going to use my regular tape runner. Oh, another thing I just thought of, and I'll show you here in just a second. I'm going to move that up a little bit. Well, here, I'm going to wait on this. Because these are going to be, if you look here, they're 4x4s. So let's lay those out so that we know where to put that border. I've got them already. So these are just to show you where they're going to be. I love these. I wonder, I'm not sure if you can still get them from Creative Memories, but they're really great because you get a whole bunch. You get a little 25 pack of each one. Let me show you. They're great because I know a lot of people ask about these. So there's the container to hold them, and then you can write which size, and then you get a little, like this is the 4x4, and I believe there's 25 in each little pack, and they're cardstock. Isn't that great? And you can use them over and over again. I use them to save spots and to show in my videos so that people know exactly where these go. Aren't they just great? And, you could probably make them yourself. I started to, and I thought, you know what? Why? I got enough to do. And the more time I spend making them, the less time I have to scrapbook, right? Here's another thing that I think of too. When I line up, like when I've got a pattern piece like this, it really helps to line up where I'm going to put each one of these. Get that one out of the way because I only want my, whoops, I only want my repositionable. Okay, so I'm going to put these here, and then this is really going to help me know exactly where I want to put, let's see, my border. Don't you love scrapbooking? I do too. I cannot wait to get these pictures in here. I can't wait to finish this album. I've been working on it for a long time, and I just want it to be perfect. We did a video for my mom when she turned 50, and that was so meaningful. I will probably do a album for her too. All right, at some point. I got to get this one done first. All right, so I want to put this on here, and now I just realized that I'm going to actually use the repositionable because I don't know what pictures I'm putting here yet in case I have to lift this. I want to be able to. So let's put that there. I already used the other kind here. I think I'll be okay. I'm just going to make sure I'm lining it up the same. How long is this? This is a little short too. And that is okay. Whoopsie. Okay, and now the really fun part is these. I forgot about these. Okay, so these go in the corners here. And I think that made sense that, see, these came in a little bit. So, thank God for, repositionable. So I can butt this in. That's why they said the 3.5 by 5 in the middle. Let's see if this will still leave me enough room. Let's see. These went like this and this. Let's get those taped together first. And, I don't have to do this. I don't at all. If I do it like this, you won't be able to see. So if I want to do this, then I'm going to have to switch this to the 3.5 by 5. Honestly, I don't really like to cut down my pictures a lot. Usually when I am taking them, I'm taking them, already cropping them as I take them. So let's see. If I do this, whoops, I didn't. Oh, I did. So I think this is going to go in a little bit more. I still want it on the 1.5. Let's see. If I do this, yep, I can probably bring it in a little bit more. Let's just dry lay that there for a second and see how far this one comes in. Come on, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out just a tad bit more. See that? That rubs right off. Okay, and if that one goes there, then this one's going to be about there. Okay. We'll just go a little bit farther out. And on the 1.5. All right, rub that off. This still fits right in there. There's a little bit of room. There. Okay, then let's put this here. And then I'll line this top up with that there. And then I can take these little guys. Oh, I didn't do this one. And then they can go in the corners here. Yeah, oh, I like that. I think that's cute. With a nice little added touch. And I'll have that go right up to the edge. A little farther down. I'm so picky. That one, and then this on the other corner. Whoops. There we go. Perfect. All right. What do you think? I love it, love it, love it so far. Now I'm going to grab the stickers. Okay, so in this set, you get this sheet, and this is the 50s stickers. This is the 40s, so I don't need this right now. And then this is the, these are the, oh, what do you call them? Borders. These would probably be really great on here. I don't know if I'm going to use those because I kind of want to save them for, I've still got extra paper left over. So we'll see. But these colors are going to look great. So if you look at the example, they've got like a little corner anchor there and then something there. And then this is where you can do the journaling. So I really want to leave some journaling. Here would be a great spot to journal too. This album is going to say all these things that we love about you. This one is probably, although I've said this so many times in the album, is You're the Coolest. And so that would be a title right there, I think, that I'll eventually do. So I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a cluster here and then maybe something down here. I love the car. I love this car. I think this will look really nice down here. I'm going to probably put it on top and cover that because down here it's going to blend in too much, right? So let's see if I do that. And then 1950s. The milkshake, this and that are probably going to go together. I'm trying to think of rock and roll. I wish I knew that I had more pictures, you know, that were kind of, I don't know, I'm here for the milkshakes. That one's kind of, I love that, but I wonder how I would do that. I kind of like this rock and roll. I think maybe I'll see what that looks like up here. That looks pretty good. And then I would probably do the guitar. These ones really go together. These two would go with the rock and roll. There's also a really great one with him with a guitar, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got kind of a dilemma right here is because this is going to go over this picture. So the way that I figure that out is I'm going to cut a little piece out of here, and then I'm going to put that behind it so that that part does not stick to that place, that photo saver. And then I don't have to worry about, so then when I do put the actual picture there, it's okay. I can just peel this piece here off, right? Makes sense? So I'm going to put this all along here. And then I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go rock and roll. I want to cover that up a little bit. And then I want to use that guitar and the record. So let's see. This record would make sense right there, wouldn't it? Let's see. I'm going to put the yellow right there where it touches that. And then maybe I will put... Does it go this way? Oh, I cannot believe. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My scrapbooking room is in a weird spot. It's actually in where our formal dining room would be. And so everybody walks through here. And so that's why everybody keeps interrupting me. I'm so sorry. I'm sure a lot of you understand that because not all of us are blessed to have our own scrapbooking room that you can shut the door. One day I will have that, I think. All right, let's see how I want to put that. I think it seems weird. I think it goes like this. It depends on if you're right or left-handed, right? I think I'm going to put it like this. And I think I might leave that little corner, do the same thing on a little corner there so that that doesn't stick. I'll just scoot that up under there. There, and hopefully nobody will see that. And then down here, I really want to do this 1950s. I also got some music notes. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I think I'm going to put this guy right. This is an easy way. You go like this and then you can really see what you're doing. Having a blast, or 1950s. Let's see, we'll do this. Like that. I don't want that to look like part of the car. Like maybe that. Oop. And then one more. What would go? We got this little heart. Oh, you know what we have? I think these would look really cool. These go with that. So let's put a few of those in there. We'll get some of that gold in here. Yeah, there we go. And then let me find a smaller one. I think I want... I love things in threes. Like this one right there. And then I'm going to put a little blue one over here. There. All right. And, you know, eventually I might want to put something up here. You know, they do have something right there. I think I'm going to wait, though, until I figure out what kind of pictures I use. And then I might go ahead and put something, I don't know, out of this world. I'm not really sure. It's hard to know until I get the photos done. So for now, I think I really like this. And I think I'm going to be done. So let's take these off of here. And then you can get a little bit better of a look at it when they're not on this gray. Rub that off on the back. So slick, isn't it? All right. Oh, I love this so much. I love the colors. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Boy, I can't wait to get those pictures. That picture of him on oh, there's the residue from that regular tape. That picture of him in that red shirt, he's going to look great. In case you're wondering, this is my pickup square. This takes all that off. All right. And there it is. Whoop, get that little piece of, little scrap of black from the punch. Just, oh, a couple of them. Oh, I love it. What do you think? Isn't that fun? Love, love, love. Once again, it is the Through the Years 1940s and 50s. That's the collection. You get 6 sheets of paper, double-sided, and then the stickers. And then we always show you what coordinating cardstock work there. So I could have used any of those. If I wanted to save some of this red, I could have used just the cranberry or the red cardstock there. But I really like this because it's got a really cute pattern to it. So, all right. Thanks for joining me. I hope you liked it. You know, try something new when you see one of these project recipes. Remember, you do not have to do it like it says, because this is another take on it. This is with the Hit the Road, and this is with the Through the Years. I love this. Thanks. Bye.